Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations on a variety of topics, social, psychological, emotional, coaching related topics. We try to do that as often as we can, usually on a daily basis, although we're not here every day. We try to be, though. And we've got over 650 audios for you to check out on a variety of topics, and we try to add to that as consistently as we can. If you're looking for a way to strengthen your mind, which is today's topic, would love if you ultimately reach out. Reaching out is pretty easy. You can do so through the About Me section here on YouTube, or you can do so through at PO Perception on Twitter. Either way, we'll get you in touch with me or a member of my team, and then we can set something up. We'll want to help as many people as we can in 2021. Also, like, subscribe, comment below, all that good stuff along the way, if you are inclined to do so. In any event, today we're going to talk about the five things that, not only these five are things, but five things that indicate a strong mind. So, the first is understanding that, in fact, you have a results-based mind. As long as you're not breaking any rules or laws, and you're not hurting anybody in the process, any way to get somewhere is there. I have to, because of my physical disability, have to have certain adaptive equipment in terms of, doing certain daily tasks. This is definitely necessary. There's lots of people that are uncomfortable, and they become worried because I have to do things differently, and they want to jump in and help. And for me, I've had to do things differently my entire life. As long as the way you do things doesn't break any laws, because it's not worth losing your freedom over, and doesn't intentionally hurt another person, because we should try to do as little harm to others as possible, because we want our freedom and should uphold the freedom of others. Everything is fair games as long as you get the result you desire, and you're willing to alter your your goals in order to achieve the results in terms of time or space or length of investment it takes to get the results, and ultimately you're willing to do that on a consistent basis, you can get just about anywhere. The next is have confidence. Be confident that you have value. And self-worth is such a difficult thing for so many people for a variety of reasons, from how they're raised by their parents, where they're raised, their relationship with their own intelligence, their relationship with their own resiliency. There's lots of things that can take away confidence, and that is super dangerous. Only because at the end of the day, if you're not confident within yourself, you will eventually stumble, you will eventually fall. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you are, incapable of changing your level of confidence. It just basically means at the end of the day, you've got to find something that you relate to, that's meaningful to you as it relates to moving forward with your own level of success, confidence, and focus. And so it's super important to do exactly that. And confidence and arrogance are fine lines as it relates to, going forward. Because arrogance teaches us that, in fact, we have all the answers. And confidence is the realization that we may have lots of answers and we have the ability to respond to challenges, but not necessarily that we know everything, and there's always something to learn. A confident person realizes they are capable of learning as needed, but they have a lot of knowledge. An arrogant person believes they know everything, and so walking that line is super important. I spend so much time studying for and to be ready for my clients. It's important, and it's valuable in that way. So the next thing to consider is, at the end of the day, next thing to consider is you've got to look at the possibility of understanding deep conversations versus shallow conversations. Shallow conversations are about things that aren't going to matter at the end of the day or the next day. Deep conversations are about motivating factors and things that matter to us, and who we are as people, and how we change the world, or how we can change the world, or the differences we can make, and making the world a better place, and caring about people's emotional state, and trying to help them find happiness and peace and health and wellness and all of those things that really do matter quite a lot, but sometimes we forget how much they matter. And so it's important to understand connecting with people on that deeper level and having a commitment to doing exactly that. Um, the in doing that, sometimes it's not always easy. Deep conversations can get hairy if we disagree with someone. So finding the ability to have a deep conversation and not always look for agreement, looking for understanding first and agreement second, is valuable and important. Self-control. A person who is extremely intelligent has and strong-minded has self-control. This may mean that they deal with things like addiction or compulsion or habits that may not be healthy, but they manage them and they know how to manage them, and they also know how to be honest about when they're struggling with something. I think one of the most important things that any individual can do consistently is admit to themselves the level of struggle they have with some of those things. Like, I've got an addictive personality type, but I don't really want to admit it. Instead of admitting that we have it, we try to avoid that concept or that reality. And so it's challenging a lot of times because we don't want to look weak, but a smart person, a well person, a healthy person understands that looking weak in the face of challenges doesn't necessarily mean that we always have to be weak, and we're able to humble ourselves, use self control to admit our strengths and our weaknesses, and understand where we can improve, but also see our value. So it's truly about balance in a lot of ways. The next thing is self motivation, and that's the last thing on the list. They know their why. And strong-minded people know why they're doing what they're doing, and they check in with their why on a regular basis, regular enough to know whether they're still committed to the projects they've set forth to do, or whether they've changed, whether they've evolved, whether they've grown. And that can be super challenging because a lot of people don't want to admit if they've changed or grown or gone in a different direction. Sometimes we're very stubborn about that. So letting go of that is an important part of living a healthy and well life. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.